Sugar industry stakeholders meeting as the BWU threatens an island-wide shutdown. Efforts underway to find out the total cost of private healthcare. And in sports, Craig Brathwaite eyeing another century as Barbados takes charge of their last round regional game.
Credible, balanced, committed. This is the CBC Evening News.
A very good evening to you. I am Pearson Bowen. The Labour Department is, at this hour, mediating the standoff between the Barbados Workers' Union and the Barbados Agricultural Management Company. That meeting, which began shortly after 5 this afternoon, is being held against the background of a threat by the union of a national shutdown. This is the union's response to the 57 workers at Andrews factory who were made redundant. Officials from the BWU, led by General Secretary Sir Roy Trotman, arrived at the Labour Department in Warrens just before 5. Already inside were BAMC officials, as well as personnel from the Labour Department, including the Chief Labour Officer, Vincent Burnett. Well, this evening's meeting follows hints from the BWU of a countrywide shutdown as it ramps up support for striking sugar workers at Port Vale factory. Deputy General Secretary Tony Moore said earlier the BWU is weighing its options as the industrial action at the St. James Sugar Factory extended into its second day. A team of BWU officials was on hand today in solidarity with the workers at Port Vale, the lone sugar factory in operation for the 2014 sugar harvest.
Anything is possible, but we will rush it up gradually as we see fit, because this exercise is one that's not just about sugar, but it's about principle that must be adhered to. And the Barbados Workers Union, through its executive, is committed to following through on the exercise at any level that we have to ensure that that point is established.
Moore also addressed the issue of why the BWU did not step in to assist the 3,000 retrenched public sector workers and is now seeking full-scale industrial action.
I think that those parties that will seek to stimulate discussion around the fact that it should have been done before, it should have been done in other circumstances, might be to a large extent speaking out of turn, not understanding the context within which particular discussions were taking place. We are very certain the Executive Council has given very careful thought to the action which commenced yesterday.
Other news now, just how much does it cost to provide private health care for Barbadians? That's exactly what government is seeking to determine. And in order to find that out, Minister of Health John Boyce suggests it would require a monitoring of data of private medical institutions. The minister's comments came at a hospital showcase and information seminar organized by Sagicor Life Incorporated at the Barbados Hilton. The move is all in an effort to inform decisions in creating a health plan for Barbados.
I have instructed the planning unit at the Ministry of Health to review the healthcare model financing presently operating in Barbados, with a view to making recommendations to the Cabinet for changes that will see a much more viable healthcare system while ensuring that our mandate of universal healthcare is not compromised. Insurance companies like Sagicor have a vested interest in this kind of program, since increasing healthcare costs also eats away at their viability.
Vice President Group Insurance at Sagicor Life, Patricia Brathwaite Marshall, says her company has over the years contributed to the changing landscape of health and wellness.
We are also committed to providing excellent products and services to our customers. Our goal is to be the group life and health benefits provider of choice, not only in Barbados, but across the region.
Medical representative of Bryden's Stokes, Nicole Allen, one of the several exhibitors, says that company has developed a relationship with the Ministry of Health and has played a part in Barbados' healthcare system.
Initially, we would have done the HPV vaccine, and it's a partnership between Sagicor and Brighton Stokes in making sure that women in Barbados have the HPV vaccine and access to that vaccine. I'm also here today promoting Zedex, Rosedex, Dr. Scholl's, Infocol. Those are well-known products.
If all goes according to plan, the first construction phase of the much-anticipated multi-million-dollar Sugar Point Cruise Terminal could start by June or July this year. That's according to Kenneth Atherley, Divisional Manager of the Barbados Port Incorporated.
We're in the process of finalizing the project on 3 main tracks in relation to the planning. The 2 main phases, which relates to relocation of the coral and the construction of the cruise pier along with the reclamation. That is close to final permitting. We are awaiting the final decisions from the Chieftain Planner on that. So we expect that within a few weeks that we will get permission for the main first phase of the project.
Mr. Atherley says while the relevant permissions are being obtained, they are also actively working on the issue of financing. He says port officials are charting the long-term marketing plan to ensure the terminal's financial viability in terms of consistent passenger volumes.
We are also working on finalizing the financing associated with the project, and the chairman and the CEO, they are in discussions with the investing partner, SMI, on the terms and conditions of that financing. That financing is likely going to involve HSBC.
Mr. Atherley says the construction phase is not anticipated to negatively impact on traffic flow in Trevor's Way, since the majority of the development will involve reclaimed seaward land. The Transport Board is implementing some new route changes that will make travel between rural districts and the commercial hub at Warrens much easier using just one bus. The board is starting a new ABC connection that will start at the airport 4 times daily and end at University Drive with a return route. A new Bridgetown to Warrens service from Fairchild Street Terminal has also been added. This service will operate 7 times daily with a reverse route. There will also be a 6 Roads to Warrens route via St. George twice daily with a reverse route. The board also has a Well House to Warrens pilot service that will operate twice daily. Board officials say the new routes will save travelers time and money, since they will now only need to take 1 bus where they previously needed to take 2 or more. Cabinet is looking at an appropriate way to honor the late Archbishop Granville Williams during the upcoming Crop Over Festival. This was revealed by Minister of the Environment and Drainage, Dr. Dennis Lowe, who was also a very good friend and Member of Parliament for the late leader of the Sons of God Apostolic Church. Minister Lowe says the Archbishop's passing was a tremendous loss to his followers and the wider community. He also described him as selfless and community-minded, at times even assisting government with temporary housing for needy persons at Ealing Grove. He said the Archbishop's continuous contribution to the festival over the years also requires a fitting tribute.
I believe that the Honourable Minister of Culture, supported strongly by the Right Honourable Prime Minister and the members of the Cabinet, will seek to find a most suitable way to capture his memory and his contribution to the festival.
The Oistins Fish Festival will also be recognizing the late spiritual Baptist leader. According to coordinator of that festival, Dr. Dan Carter, tribute will be paid to the Archbishop for being involved from the inception of the festival. He added that there will be law and order to provide locals and tourists adequate security. This comment was made in an exclusive interview with CBC.
This year, we plan to recognize the contribution of Archbishop Granville Williams to the festival, and that will be done during the opening ceremony. He has been with the festival from its inception in 1977. I think he participated in the blessing of the festival then, and in those days, there used to be a social group connected with the church who used to come back on the bank holiday, and they used to sing a lot of spiritual songs and that kind of thing. really had a tremendous impact on the festival in those early days.
Chairman of the festival, Herbert Yearwood, says most preparations are complete for the event.
We are having a problem with getting these boats out of the area, and we hope that we won't have to go into the expense of moving them ourselves, but some of the boats should go into the water. But we are very much up with the stalls and so forth, which the vendors will be using.
In an effort to keep the spirit of Tuk alive in Barbados, the National Cultural Foundation has partnered with the UWI Cave Hill campus to expose more young people to that indigenous music. A number of students got a history and poetry lesson from Barbadian academic, musician and producer Professor Anthony Kelman entitled Tuk Verse in the Barbadian Poetic Space. NCF Senior Business Development Officer Alison Seeley-Smith says the lecture is timely, coming as the foundation celebrates 30 years of service and as Barbados marks the 40th anniversary of crop over.
As a signatory to UNESCO's 2003 Convention for the Safeguarding of Intangible Cultural Heritage, Barbados has made a commitment to its transnational partners to protect and conserve its non-material artifacts. And as the lead executing agency of the Ministry of Culture, the NCF, through its Cultural Development Department primarily, is dedicated to structuring and implementing programs that reflect and enhance this commitment. Each of our cultural officers is tasked with the responsibility of conceptualizing and delivering initiatives that privilege our indigenous oral traditions.
A joyous moment for a lucky Yvonne Bancroft. She will be cruising the high seas for the first time after winning 98.1 The One's cruise control competition. Thousands of Barbadians entered, but a cool and calm Bancroft was the lucky winner of a 7-day Caribbean cruise compliments the travel house. A presentation was made to the nurse by the CBC and its sponsors this afternoon. The competition of activities to mark 98.1 The One's 9th birthday. For Bancroft, this is her biggest win.
Yes, I've won something, a microwave. Really.
Okay, but so this is by far the biggest thing you've ever won. Have you ever been on a cruise?
Not yet. I was planning to go on
You
one
see now?
later on in this year.
Good. So you said your daughter is the person who filled out your name.
No, I filled the name, but she called
shopped?
me.
Oh, okay.
No, she called me and told me, among other people.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Director of Sales at the CBC, Sharon Waldron, says the promotion, now in its second year, was a success thanks to the participants, the sponsors and Team CBC.
And I want again to say thanks to all the listeners who participated in the promotion. There were thousands of entries, and when the draw was complete, the winner was Miss Yvonne Bancroft. So once again, thanks to everyone. It was another successful year for us, and I hope that next year we can do it bigger and better.